So this is meant to be a really quick demo of our email service. We'll start off with our control panel, which we have created ourselves for our service. So here you see the login screen of our control panel. And so the first thing we can look at is the mailboxes, that is the actual users. Okay, so let's edit a particular mailbox. Okay, so here you've got the first name, you've got some documentation fields like employee ID and all. You have got the department, and you can allocate space for your users, and this can be different for each user. You can manage multiple domains here, as you can see. You can set the password and so on. You can enable archive on a per user basis. You can deactivate the account, and you can set up alternate email addresses for the same user. You can mark the user as hybrid. That is, our service can work in what is called as hybrid mode with Google, Microsoft, or Zoho. That means you can have some users on one of those services and some on our service. In which case, the users who are on the other service, say Google or Microsoft, will be marked as hybrid. Okay, you can bypass spam filtering, and you can set policies. This is the drop down. You can select a policy for applicable for that particular user, and you can enable access restrictions. Okay, I'll explain what that is. So this is about the mailboxes. Okay, and then you can manage domains, but mainly you've got distribution lists. Okay, so a distribution list is when you can have an email ID, and when a mail is sent to that ID, it actually goes to the members of that distribution list. Okay, so you can select. So here you've got test group, so you can add users into that group by clicking on those IDs here. Okay, and you can also add external email IDs. Okay, so you can add, say, some ID at say gmail.com. Okay, and this can be a comma separated list. Okay, and again, you can activate or deactivate the list. And you also have posting policies, so you can decide who can send mail to the group. Okay, so you've got anybody who can send. You can have any group member can send. You can have anybody in the domain sending to that group, or you can have just specific users who can send to that group. Okay, so the specific users, you can give again a comma separated list here. So these are email distribution lists. And then you've got email forwarding rules. Okay, so you can create email forwarding, that is from some particular email ID. You can decide to forward mail to some other email IDs. Okay, and you can again put external email IDs here. Okay, and you can activate or deactivate the group. So any email which is sent to this email ID will actually get forwarded to the email IDs which are configured here. Okay, so that is email forwarding. We've seen mailboxes, and now we have to see policies. Okay, so here you can have policies. So you can just have a look at this block policy. Okay, so you can set a maximum restriction on the outgoing mail. That is the size of the outgoing mail. Okay, in MB, and you can block all incoming mail and give some exceptions. So if you say block all incoming mail except from Outlook, so then only mails from Outlook will be allowed to come in for the applied users. Similarly, you can block outgoing mail and again give some exceptions. Okay, so you can say that outgoing mails are blocked except for some email IDs which are restricted here. Okay, so that is which are allowed here, which is the exceptions. Okay, so again, this is a comma separated list. So this is the policies in brief. So once the policy is saved, you can in the mailboxes apply the policy to those particular users. Okay, now what else? We've got mail logs. So you've got logs of mails which uh, are being received, so that you see all these logs here. Okay, so this is how you will get the logs, and you can see the details of the mails here. Okay, and then you've got access restriction masters. Okay, so we'll go to access restrictions. So you can create a access restriction. Okay, and you can apply it for a domain, and you can give an access restriction type. Okay, so this is again your sort of documentation. So essentially, what you can do with this is that you can restrict users. This is the master here, which you will refer to. Okay, so you can restrict users. Okay, let's actually do this. Okay, for mail service 25, and then access like this. Um, okay, so we'll save this. Okay, and then access like this. Okay, so now we can give an IP. Say I give IP $2. Okay, so what this means is that for users whom I apply this restriction, they will be able to access only from this IP. Even if they know the username and password, they will be. So if you have an office with a which is connected to the internet through a link which has got a static IP address, and you want some users to be able to access their mails only from this IP address, you can do that. So we'll save this here. Okay, and then if we go to mailboxes and select one of them, and then access restriction master, we can apply this. Okay, so now what will happen is that this user accounts will be able to access only from the IP which we have configured. Okay, so this is one more security feature, somewhat unique security feature we have in our service. Okay, and then we've got connectors. So you can have a connector where for the hybrid routing with other services like Google, Microsoft, and Zoho, you can apply connectors for users, okay, for hybrid users. So similarly, you've got connector, you've got uh, this is the outgoing connector. So you've got you can give a name, okay, and you've got this is of course preset by us in our uh, uh, when we uh, when we provision the service for you. Okay, so this way you can have hybrid mappings for users. Okay, and similarly you can have incoming routings. Okay, so you can set up incoming routings also for users. Okay, so this way you can set up a incoming routing for your users. So these are the different options you have in the admin panel. Okay. So now let us look at our webmail. Yeah, so this is our webmail interface. As you can see, it's a very contemporary looking Outlook-like interface. Okay, so you've got the folders here, you've got the message list here, and you've got the actual message pane here. Okay, so you've got all the normal features like contacts, you've got various settings, and you have got a rich compose facility. Okay, and you can uh, so it will show you your address book. So all these facilities are there. Okay, and you also have the facility of delayed send. So you can send at various times, or you can even select a specific time to send the mail. Okay, so this facility is also available. And you've got rich compose window with so many facilities. You can attach a file here. Okay, so all these you can add links and so on. So all these facilities are there. And when you're sending the mail, you also have the facility of recall. But before we get into that, we can see some settings. Okay, so here you've got and the most important thing here is the filters. Okay, you can of course set your signature and all that, and you can create filters here. So you can have some automatic actions being taken based on various criteria. So you can select based on subject from all these fields. Okay, and then whether it contains, you have so many options there. Okay, for that, and you can give the value here, and then based on that you can take various actions. Okay, you can delete the message, you can set a auto reply, uh, you can forward the mail, you can do so many things on that. Okay? You can move it to folders and so on. So what will happen is that when a mail comes which matches the criteria which you have set here, that action will automatically be taken, and the mail will, I reply will go, or the mail will be moved to a different folder or whatever. Okay. So here what we can do is we can send a mail. Okay. So when we send the mail, it will wait for that much of configured time. Okay, and only then it will send the mail. So you've got a chance of recall. So you can cancel the send here. Okay, if you made a mistake. So this facility is also available here. Okay. And then we come to our groupware interface. Okay, so the groupware interface is another interface where you've got some additional facilities. So you've got, apart from mail, of course, where you have all the mail facility and all that. You have uh, you have all the others like facilities like mainly shared calendars. Okay, so you've got the facility of shared calendars here. You can uh, so therefore you can create events and all in the shared calendars. Okay. So you can view others' calendars, you can create events, and you can see their free busy time and so on. Okay, so all those facilities are there, and you can invite external attendees also, including those in other domains. And you can see their free busy time, provided they have given the option of viewing their calendars. So this is group pair. This is why it's called group pair, because it enables people to work together. Okay, and then you also have the facility of shared address books. So just as you have shared calendars, you can have different calendars. Say, for example, the sales team can have, a shared address book. So the sales team, for example, can have a shared address book, and they can create a new address book for themselves and share it amongst themselves. So only the members of the sales team can have access to that. Okay, and of course, it will have all the usual contact information in the shared address book. Okay, so this is very briefly about groupware. Other than that, the email functionality is pretty much as usual. You can compose mails. It has got rich text editing for sending mails. It has got a multiple three-pane interface with support for multiple folders and all that. So all those things are available. So you can have you can have full HTML editing. So all that is there. Okay. And then we come to our files interface. Okay, so this is where you can store files, you can create folders, so you can do all these things here, and um, you can edit also documents, and you can mount them as a drive. So you can use this URL and mount it as a drive on your system. So double clicking it will open the file for you. Okay, and as I said, you can even edit the files online. Okay. We can log in as another user. It is, I think, being used by somebody. We can open text sheet. So here you can edit your documents and all in a fairly rich online editor, which is somewhat similar to Google Docs. Okay, and you can also have collaborative editing with this. So apart from that, the real power of this is in the sharing. So you can have various sharing options you have here. Okay, so you can share it with specific people and you can give permissions on that. Okay, and these are, as you can see, fine-grained permissions. So you've got separate edit permission, create, delete, and this is very, very important. You have separate delete permission. Okay, and if it is shared with somebody, you can also control whether they can reshare it or not. You can set an expiration date. Okay, and you can unshare it. So these are all the permissions which are available. You also can share links. Okay, so that makes sending and receiving files very easy. So here also you've got permissions. You can allow upload and editing. You can make it a file drop so that they can upload files and you can collect files from them. You can hide the download button for them. You can protect with a password so that somebody gets the link, they won't be able to access it. You can send the password through some other mechanism like WhatsApp or SMS. You can again set a expiration date. So all these things are possible here. So with this, you can have, it's like an online cloud file service. And what you can do is you can have a sort of file server in the cloud, have a master account, share files or folders from there to all your users or your different departments with appropriate permissions so that each department or users will get access only to their files and they won't be able to see anything else. So this way you can protect your data and prevent people from deleting files unnecessarily, and also you can share links with all your customers or whoever vendors to collect files from them very conveniently. So this, in a very brief nutshell, is about our service. And this, as I said, it's meant to be very brief. Give a very quick overview. So thank you for seeing this video.